So this is a prenatal friendly class. Make sure you have your water. If you have some blocks at home, you can grab those, maybe even a pillow. Those are nice props to have. We'll begin in child's pose, knees wide, big toes touching. Reach your arms forward and just kind of ease into your child's pose. Give yourself plenty of space. Take a few deep breaths. And just breathe into your hips, your low back. If this feels really intense, you can lift your hips up a little bit so it's not quite as deep. And take one more inhale. And exhale. Slowly come up to tabletop. You'll bring your knees right under your hips. And a really gentle cat-cow. So especially on your cow, when you're looking up, like you don't have to drop your belly a lot because it's already dropping in that direction. So really just look up and open your chest, your heart. And then exhale into your cat and round your back. And that should feel really nice. Inhale, gaze up and open. Exhale, curl and round. Breathing in. Breathing out. These can be very small movements as we start to get less and less space to work with. You come back to neutral spine. Move your knees just a little bit closer. And let's look over the right shoulder. Drop your hips to the left. And come back to center. Look to the left. Move your hips to the right. And do this a few times side to side. Feel this stretch in your outer glutes. Come back to center and bring your knees under your hips again. And we'll come into a spinal twist. So reach your right arm high and you roll your wrists out. And we're going to thread that right arm through and lower the head down. So with this twist, you don't want to force anything. It's not going to be as deep as it usually is. It's really more of a shoulder stretch for your right shoulder as you press down into your mat. Good. Come up back to center. We'll switch sides. Left arm high, roll out the wrist. Thread that left arm through. So to make this twist not quite as deep, you don't have to look all the way up to the ceiling. Just look out towards those left fingertips. We'll press back to center. Spread your fingers wide, tuck the toes under, and let's lift up to down dog. A nice deep breath. Paddle your feet out. Back and forth. Down dog is a really great stretch in pregnancy to help keep sciatic pain away. Our calves really need that stretch along with our hamstrings and our spine. So let's just take a few more breaths here. And lift your heels high, bend your knees, come back down, and just take a child's pose. To rest and reconnect with your breath. Good, come back up to a tabletop position and we'll drop into puppy pose. So it feels similar to down dog for our upper body. You're gonna drop the head, straighten and lengthen the arms out. This time keep your hips high. And stay active through your hands. Use your arm muscles. Good. Slowly walk yourself back into tabletop. Okay, so in your tabletop, draw your belly and your baby up and in, and then extend your right leg back behind you. Reach your left arm forward. So let's just hold here. Flex your back foot, have the toes facing straight down. 3, 2, and 1. Release that side. And we'll switch sides. Left leg back, right arm forward. And hold. Three, 2, and 1. Release. Now we'll move into a side plank variation. So we're going to keep our left hand on our mat. Move blocks out of the way so you can see. We'll turn open to the right and swoop this right arm up and overhead. So right leg is straight. And we're just stretching and breathing through that right side. Okay, with all of these poses, we want them to feel good, like they're creating space in our body, helping us release tension, stress, bringing extra oxygen and blood flow to us and the baby. Okay, relax that side. And we'll switch sides. So extend your left leg back and swoop your left arm up and over. When pregnant, this turns into a balancing pose too. Stretching the intercostal muscles between our ribs. And then those muscles that attach our rib cage to our low back and pelvis, this can all get really tight. Just breathing there. Go relax that side. And we're gonna come up to standing. So it might be easiest just to come into a down dog and then slowly walk your hands and feet together. Finish in a forward fold. Relax over the legs. You can always take a wide stance with your feet to get more comfortable. Have a little bend in the knees. Relax head, relax shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's find that long, flat back. Hands on the shins, lengthen the spine. Got a little bend in the knees. Help yourself up to standing. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. And then let's bring hands to the low back. We'll puff our chest out, our bellies out, without hinging anywhere in the back. We want to stay lifted and long, but open that chest. Our chest can get really tight with all this forward weight. So without overstretching the belly, right? If you feel kind of some ab separation or anything like that, back out of it. But if you can get that stretch where it's focusing more in your shoulders and in your chest, that's what we want to feel. You can still draw your abs in and drop your tailbone down. But now inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, cactus your arms. And keep your arms in cactus. And we're just gonna turn to the right. Inhale, center. Turn to the left. Do a few more. And allow your hips to turn with you when you're pregnant. Okay, so hips will turn with your shoulders. So we're not twisting as much through the spine. Good, come back to center. Bring hands behind your back and interlace your fingertips. Squeeze your shoulders, open the chest. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, hinge forward from your hips, a little bend in the knees. Relax your head, your neck, spine, and then reach your arms up. Big stretch through your shoulders. Good, relax. Bring hands to the thighs or shins and halfway lift. Lengthen. Keep the back of your neck long. Go ahead, fold back down. And slowly come back up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms. This time, keep both of your arms high and stretch over to the right side. Breathing in and breathing out. Come up and we'll switch sides. Awesome side stretch. Come back to center. Now fold forward and grab your blocks. If you have blocks, go ahead and grab them. We're going to step our right foot back. So we're in a low lunge. You might want to bring the blocks up a level just for some extra space. If you don't have blocks, you can come up to that front thigh and just lean forward like this. Okay. And without dumping your hips really deep, okay, because we don't want to overstretch these hip flexors. We're already dealing with a lot of stretching down there. So this is more about strength. I want you to pull your feet. Imagine pulling your feet towards each other. And just holding here. Long spine. Good form. And you can also have your feet go a little bit wider so your belly has space. Okay, we're going to switch our feet out. So right foot forward, left foot back. Get situated here. And without dumping your hips really deep, instead hold nice and strong. Imagine pulling your right heel back and your left toes forward. Three, two, and one. Good, step that left foot forward and come back up to standing. Okay, feet hip width distance apart. Have hands on your hips. And let's just take a breath to reset. Okay, inhale. And then exhale, chair pose without arms today. So we're just gonna bend the knees, sink the hips, which is a really nice stretch for our low back. You're welcome to bring hands on the belly or on the back, just to kind of check in with how it feels, your alignment, to keep that great posture. Just a few more breaths. Good, come up and relax. Okay, now we'll go into figure four stretch. So if you need to use a wall for a little extra balance, you can come off of your mat, grab a wall. We're gonna go right ankle to left thigh, sit back in our chair, and stretch our right glute and hip. I think this is like a daily pregnancy stretch you should do to try and help with sciatica, tight piriformis, tight hips. But again, we don't want to overstretch. So it's just a matter of feeling that release and then letting go. Relax that side. Take your time. And we will switch sides. Left ankle, right thigh. You can hold on to that ankle if that helps. Sit back in your chair. Three. Good. One hip might feel tighter than the other. Relax, release that side, shake it out. And we will go into tree pose. So if you still need that wall for a little extra support, our balance is way different right now than it usually is. So do feel free to use the wall if you need to. We're gonna go right foot up the left leg for tree pose. Just go above or below your knee. I'll turn a little bit so you can see me. And work on planting that right foot on the inner lining of the left leg. Great stretch for that right hip. And then to help with balance, find somewhere on the floor to gaze. If you'd like to extend the arms, you can. Good. Slowly release that side. And we will switch sides. Left foot up the right leg. And you may notice stretching here that you wouldn't necessarily feel before pregnancy. Again, it's important just to not overdo it. Option to reach arms. Good. And release and relax. Shake it out. Nice job. Come back to center on your mat, at the top of your mat. Now on the inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, use the blocks if you need to. Step your right foot back for warrior one. Plant your heel down, go wide with your feet. Inhale, arms up overhead. If you feel too much of a pull in your belly, then lean forward and that will help. Really don't want to feel too much of a stretch there in our abs. They are doing plenty of work already. Important to have strong legs though to carry us. One big step forward. Stand tall. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And step your left foot back. Turn the heel down. And slowly come up. Warrior one. So in warrior one, our shoulders, rib cage, hips all face forward on our mat. And start tall. You need to lean forward in that hinge. You can. 3. And 1 big step forward. Whew. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, arms high. Exhale over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the blocks. Step your right foot back, turn the heel down. And open up for warrior two this time. So in warrior two, our feet are in a long line. Left toes face forward. Right foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Bend into your left knee. Squeeze your right leg straight. Again, hold here, get strong through your legs. Good, reach left arm high. And let's go ahead and straighten your left leg. So we're in this reverse triangle position. Option to look up. And we're gonna hinge all the way over that left leg. Keep it straight and reach right arm high. Now you can use your shin here, or you could also grab for one of your blocks and place it on the outside. I like the outside of the shin. Some people might like inner. A place where you feel stacked. If that feels too low, just use your left leg either above or below the knee. Breathe. Triangle is probably my favorite stretch through pregnancy. A little bend in that left knee brings you up to standing. Nice job. We're gonna step forward, top of the mat. And just reset here as needed. And we'll move into the other side. Inhale, reach arms high. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on blocks. Step left foot back, turn the heel down. Windmill the arms open. Warrior two. Bend your right knee. Squeeze your left leg straight. And you can always practice a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Most time in yoga, it's just in and out of the nose. But for pregnancy and practicing for labor, it can be nice to use the mouth to exhale. We'll go right arm high and straighten your right leg. Reverse triangle, gaze up. Start to hinge forward over the right leg and fall into your side triangle. Use your shin or grab for one of your blocks. Really breathe into your right inner thigh, your left side, and then bend into your right knee to come up to standing. Step forward, top of mat to reset. Pause, notice how you feel. Then I'll have you take a wide step open towards the video. And we're gonna start with our feet facing the long way of the mat and our wide split. Inhale, reach your arms high. On the exhale, stretch up and over to the right side. You can use your bottom arm on your thigh for a little extra support. Top arm reaching long. And then we'll switch sides. Up and over. Back to center. Fold forward. Little bend in the knees here can feel nice. Let's take 5 to 10 deep breaths. If your head rush gets a little too much, you can come up to a flat back. Then slowly come back up to standing. Start to turn your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees. And hold goddess squat. Another great pose to help us prepare for labor. Strengthening the inner thighs, opening the pelvis. Breathe. Nice job. Slowly come up. Heel toe your feet in, walk your way in. Turn back to the top of your mat. Go heels and toes out for Malasana squat. Hands together at heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, start to sink. Bend your knees. So this is a really nice place to use a block to sit on. Okay. My hips feel extremely tight here. So having that block for some extra support is great. If this feels way too much, you can stay up here. You can also start to make your way down to the mat because our next pose is butterfly. But if you are okay here, take a few more breaths. Press your elbows into your thighs, lift your heart. Then remove the block and start to make your way down to your mat. So this is a good place to grab that pillow if you want to have some extra cushion under your seat. If you are feeling any sciatic pain, that will be helpful. You might just feel a lot of stretching in the pelvis right now too. So just having some more cushion underneath you could feel a lot better than the hard ground. So in our butterfly, feet together, knees wide, lean forward, use the ground to help support you. And remember, it doesn't matter how far, how deep you stretch into this. What matters is the feeling that the stretch is giving you. So you want it to feel good. It may be challenging, but it's still a feeling of release, of letting go. Should not feel like pain or torture. If it does, back out of it, don't do it. You can always sit there and breathe, take child's pose, find a pose that is comfortable. Okay, start to come up. Now we're gonna straighten just the left leg. And it's a little bit wider than an L shape. You'll keep the right foot in. If you wanna grab for your blocks or maybe just one block, we're gonna lean over the straight left leg. So obviously the belly doesn't give us as much space to stretch forward. So what we should focus on instead is activating the left leg by flexing the foot, using the muscles. You should also possibly feel this in your right hip and in your lower back muscles. Also, at any point, grab water. Keep yourself hydrated. That's been probably the biggest challenge for me so far in pregnancy, is to stay hydrated enough. Go ahead, come up. Slowly switch your legs out. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight. We'll fold over the right leg. Just trying to relax as much as possible. Okay, come up. Now straighten both of your legs out into a split. Maybe not quite as far as you usually go, but just a little bit wider than your mat. Lean forward. Feel free to use the blocks. Or you can also just keep your arms straight. And I'm even feeling a little pull under my knees here. So having a slight bend in the knees is actually better than feeling that extra pull in the knees. So if you feel that too, just have your knees bent and fold forward wherever it starts to feel more comfortable. Start to come back up. Grab under your knees and pull your legs back in. Let's do one more forward fold, reaching down the shins. You may feel a better stretch just by tucking the chin. Getting that stretch down the spine. Bend your right knee, plant the foot, and the knee will go a little bit wider than the belly. So traditionally we just pull it right up and in, but let's go a little bit wider with that right knee. So our belly has space, and then twist to the right. Really gentle twist. So really you keep your belly on the inside of the right knee, and then you're twisting through the chest. Okay. Now, switch sides of your twist. For an open twist, to the left hand behind you, right arm on the right leg, still hugging up and in, and sitting tall. Come back to the center, switch the legs out. Okay, you get situated, plenty of space. And start with your left hand behind you. So compared to not being pregnant with a twist, this is about 10% effort, 10 to 20% effort. We never want to try to twist a lot through the belly. It just won't feel good. So let's switch to the other side. Right hand behind you. Good, and relax. Okay. We're gonna lay down I'm going to use this pillow as a little extra support for my head and shoulders, so I'm not laying completely flat on my back. And to come down on the back, you can also like roll off to the side first and then come onto the back. So pelvic tilts are really important. Let's do a few where we just tuck and untuck. And if it doesn't feel good by this point to lay on your back at all, you can completely skip this part and relax on either side. Okay, turn those pelvic tilts into bridging. Curling up the spine, lift the hips, and roll back down. Okay, let's do one more. Nice job. Okay, if you're on your back, windshield wiper your knees, right to left, massage across your sacrum and tailbone. Okay, keep your knees on the right side and reach your arms out to T. And go ahead and look to the right as well, so you're not twisting quite as much. More so stretching through that left quad and hip flexor. Okay, let's switch sides. Knees over to the left. Go ahead and look to the left. Not holding too long. Bring your knees back to center. Let's lift the right leg up for hamstring stretch. Grab that right leg where you can. And stretch the right leg straight up to the ceiling. If you have a strap at home, this is a good place to use a strap. And come back to that breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax that side. And we'll switch sides. Keep working that left leg straight. And relax. So I'm going to roll off to my side for Shavasana. You can rest in this fetal position or whatever is most comfortable for you. Use your bottom arm as a pillow, or you can use an actual pillow for your neck. Knees and hips are stacked. Maybe one hand on your belly. A reminder that when you take care of yourself, you're also taking care of your baby. So thank yourself for coming onto your mat today, taking some time for you. Hopefully you feel good in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and in your spirit. And may yoga continue to benefit you throughout your pregnancy and the rest of your life, postpartum. When you're ready, take your time to come up. Find a nice tall seat. Notice how you feel. Notice your posture, your breathing, your awareness, your allergies. Beautiful practice today. Namaste.